Look, here's the thing. You finally crossed the $500 line. You finally hit $10,000. And now you are sitting there with this pile of cash, wondering the exact same thing everyone wonders. Okay, so now what? I have savings, but my money is just sitting there. Am I supposed to leave it? Am I supposed to invest it? And if I invest it, where does it go? Most people get stuck right here, not at the saving part, at the transition part, the handoff between I am safe and I am growing. And they get stuck because no one shows them the steps. They just say, invest your money, and then leave you in a room full of words you do not understand. So here is what I am going to do. I am going to show you the exact path, step by step. No jargon, no guilt, just the sequence, because the transition is not one big jump. It is five small steps, and the first one changes everything. The promise is simple. By the end of this, you will know exactly where your next dollar goes, in what order, and why. You will not have to guess. You will not have to read 100 articles, you just follow the path. I'm Ryan, and in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to show you the exact path from saving to investing step by step. Not the fantasy version, the real one, with numbers. Let's start with the core idea, because everything else builds on it. Money in a savings account is not wealth. I need you to hear that clearly. $10,000 is not a yacht. It's not early retirement. It's not a mansion. Anyone who tells you 10K makes you rich is selling something, and you should not buy it. Savings are a shock absorber. They make the bumps smaller. They do not make the road disappear. But here is what most people miss. Once you have the shock absorber, the extra dollar moves from defense to offense. It stops being survival money and starts being growth money. And that shift is the entire game. Let me give you the math, because I know some of you are skeptical, and you should be. I'm not asking you to trust me. I'm asking you to trust the numbers. Let's say you earn $45,000 a year after tax. That's about $3,750 a month. You build your $10,000 emergency fund over time. Then you have a choice. You can leave the surplus in savings at 4.5%, or you can put it somewhere that over a long stretch grows faster. The difference is not dramatic in 1 year, it is dramatic over 10. The Federal Reserve data and investment return studies both show the same thing. Educated, consistent investment over time outperforms both cash savings and most individual stock picking attempts, not because the market is magic, but because time and consistency compound. The average investor who contributed regularly over 15 years ended with significantly more than the saver who kept everything in a savings account, assuming similar contributions. So the first step is not pick a stock. The first step is to separate your defense money from your offense money. You have $10,000 in savings, that stays in savings. The extra dollar after that is what moves. Here is how I want you to think about it. Your savings account is your shock absorber. It covers the $400 vet bill, the $350 car part, the surprise bill that always comes when you think you've made it. Once that shield exists, anything above it can take risk, and risk done right is how you get growth. Now, the 6 steps. I'm going to walk through each one. 1. Separate your shield from your growth. The $10,000 stays in savings, the surplus moves. You do not touch the shield for anything that is not an emergency. You don't use it for vacations, for fashion, for a new phone. You use it only when something actually breaks your week. That separation is the foundation of the whole path. 2. Start with a single, simple, low cost vehicle, not a complicated portfolio, not a dozen individual stocks, a single broad market index fund. The reason is not hype. The reason is that a broad market fund spreads your risk across hundreds of companies, so one failure does not hurt you, and over time the market tends to grow. You are not betting. You are participating in the average growth of the economy. 3. Make it automatic. The day you get paid, before you look at anything, a set amount goes to the fund. You do not feel it go. You do not decide it day by day. You set it once and it runs. The automation is the only way this works for a normal person with a normal life and a normal amount of willpower. 4. Start small, but start now. You do not need $1,000 to begin. You need the first 50. The first 100. The first dollar after your shield is full. The people who start with 100 and keep going end with more than the people who wait for 1,000 and never start. The stair starts with one step. 5. Leave it alone. This is the part that kills most people. They put their money in, see it go down, panic, and pull it out. Then they say investing does not work. The reality is that time does the heavy lifting, not timing. The people who stay in for the long stretch, through ups and downs, are the ones who end with more. The market is not a place you visit. It is a place you leave your money and forget about. 6. Scale up over time. Once you have a habit, a system, and a shield, your surplus grows. You increase the automatic amount slowly, a little more each year. You don't chase hot stocks. You don't try to time the market. You just let the stair continue. Now let me address the two concerns I hear every time. First, but what if I lose it? The answer is that you do not put your shield in the market. Your $10,000 stays untouched. Only the extra dollar moves. You are not betting your survival. You are betting your growth. That is the difference between reckless and smart. Second, but what about taxes and fees? A broad market index fund in a retirement or brokerage account is taxed at a lower rate for long term holdings. The fees are typically under 1%, sometimes a fraction of a percent. Over a long stretch, that is small compared to the growth you get from staying in for years. You don't need a tax accountant to start. You need a system that is clean and simple. Now, the two real examples, because I know step by step sounds like theory until you see a real life. There's a guy, call him Marcus. 29, warehouse worker, takes home about $2,800 a month. He built his $10,000 shield over 18 months using automation and subscription cuts, the exact path we covered in the $500 video. Then he started the growth step. He put $50 a week into a broad market index fund, automatic, right after his shield was full. He did not touch it. He did not read about it. He forgot it existed. After 2 years, his shield was intact at $10,200. His growth account had $5,400. After 4 years, his shield was still $10,200. His growth was over $12,000. The point is not the number, the point is the path. He did not pick stocks, he did not time anything. He just set the automation and left it. Here's the second. A woman I'll call Priya. 33, receptionist, irregular income. She used the same automation logic in reverse. Every time a deposit hit, she moved $50 out first. She kept her shield intact. When she had extra months, she put more in. She did not try to invest everything at once. She did not get excited on good months and skip the bad ones. She just kept the stair going. After 3 years, she had $10,000 protected and $8,200 growing. Different pace, same path. Now, here is the reframe I want you to leave with. Most people think investing is for people who already have a lot. The truth is that investing is for people who have a little and want more slowly. You are not behind, you are not late. You are at the step where most people never start, and starting now puts you ahead of them. Your $10,000 is not a wall, it is a staircase. And the first step after the shield is the one that changes everything. Quick recap, because I want this to stick. Your savings stay protected. Your surplus moves to a simple, low cost, broad market fund. You make it automatic. You leave it alone. You scale slowly. That is not a fantasy. That is a system. And the system is walkable. Write those 5 steps down if you need to. Shield, move, automate, start small, leave it. They are the whole plan. Here's the reframe I want you to take into your week. You are not bad at money. You just haven't built the system yet. Deals and do's and late, and fundamental trade today has admitted found in same extremely brilliant start. Diese it was open station doing, looks linely, and technique as pendant market makes six up. 20 is up in bake sons and spot gets breaking. And unbake unsaved, ins point at it keeps Isaac. 20 candidate weight is something as part starting to test. You point and like Kensington's stepped and at the end takes and signs the act and that's his ankles are trying to was pay out getting the side place and side and such to make it and sense that and side and side the ask about it one size. What is one step you will take this week? The staircase starts with one step. I'm Ryan. And in the next video, I will show you exactly how to pick the fund and how to open the account. For now, just build the shield, then move the first 50. Go save the first 40 bucks. The staircase starts with one step. Now let me give you the compound math in real terms. Not in a textbook way, in a real way. Let's say you start with $500 after your shield and put it in a broad market fund that grows at about 7% a year over a very long stretch. That is not a promise. That is the historical average over many decades. It is not a straight line, it goes up and down, but the direction over 15 to 20 years has been upward. Year one, $500 becomes about $535. Year two, $535 becomes about $572. Year three, $572 becomes about $612. By year 10, that first $500 has become about $983. By year 15, it's about $1,379. By year 20, it's about $1,934. That is just one $500 contribution. Now imagine doing that once a month for 15 years. The numbers become real very quickly. Let's say you automate $100 a month, the same amount many people spend on unused subscriptions. Over 15 years at 7%, that's about $31,000. Over 20 years, it's about $52,000. That is not fantasy, that is math. And it is math you do not have to be smart to use. You just have to be consistent. The point is not that $100 a month makes you rich. The point is that the first $100 a month puts you in a different category than the person who saves nothing and invests nothing. You are not ahead of them because you are smarter. You are ahead of them because you built the system. Let's talk about the emotional part of this step because that is where most people fail. They build the shield, they start the automation. Then the market goes down. They see their growth account drop by 10%. They feel a knot in their stomach. They think, this was a mistake. I should pull it out. That is the exact moment that separates the people who grow from the people who stay stuck. The people who stay in through the downturn are the ones who get the growth on the other side, not because they are braver, because they separated the shield from the growth. They know their $10,000 is untouched. They know this is the long stretch, and they leave it alone. Here's the analogy I want you to hold on to. Investing is not a roller coaster. A roller coaster has a start and an end. Investing is a staircase with bumps. The direction is upward over a very long stretch. The bumps are real. They feel real. But they are bumps, not walls. The people who treat bumps like walls stop climbing. The people who treat bumps like bumps keep climbing. That is the only difference. Now, one more concern. But what if I can't do $100? What if I can only do $20? The answer is the same. Start with $20. Start with $10. The stair does not care about the size of the step. It cares about the direction. The person who saves $20 a month for 15 years ends with about $6,200 at 7%. The person who saves nothing ends with zero. That is the comparison that matters. Not between $100 and $1,000, between $20 and $0. Here is what the three boring moves look like for this specific step. Automate the amount, set it for the same day every month. Choose a single broad market index fund with low fees and never log in to check it unless you are adding more. That is the system. It takes 15 minutes to set up. It takes 0 minutes per month after that, and it works for 15 years. I'm Ryan. This is the path. Shield first, move second, automate third. Start small fourth, leave it alone fifth, scale slowly sixth. That is not a fantasy, that is the exact sequence. And it is the exact sequence that turns saving into investing without changing anything else about your life. Let me also walk you through what not to do, because most people do these things, and they are the reasons the path fails for them. Don't pick individual stocks when you are starting. Not yet. The reason is not that you are not smart enough. The reason is that single stocks behave wildly. One company can lose 60% of its value in a year. A broad market fund is a basket of hundreds of companies. One bad year for one company is a tiny fraction of the whole. For most people starting out, the basket is the right answer. You can add individual stocks later, after your system is built, not before. Don't try to time the market. People who say they sold before the crash also say they bought before the bounce. Most of them did not. They just remember that one time. The data is clear. People who invest consistently over time, ignoring the noise, outperform people who try to guess the right moment. The staircase does not need a perfect time to start, it just needs to start. Don't invest your shield. Your $10,000 is the line between this is annoying and this ruins my week. It belongs in savings. It does not belong in the market. The moment you put your shield in the market is the moment a $400 vet bill becomes a do I sell at a loss question. The whole point of the shield is that it does not move. The whole point of the growth account is that it does. Keep them separated. Don't check it every day. Most brokerages have an app on your phone. Most of those apps show you the number. That number will go up and down. Watching it every day is the fastest way to panic at a 5% dip. Check it quarterly or yearly. The stare is long. The bumps feel worse when you are staring at them. Don't tell your friends. This is a strange one, but I am serious. When you tell your friends, two things happen. Either they think you are being reckless, or they think you are being smart. Both responses make you feel something, and feeling something makes you act. You do not need that. You need to forget the system is even there. The system works in silence. The number grows in silence. You only need to remember it exists when you increase the automation once a year. Don't wait for the perfect amount. The perfect amount is the one that lets you set the automation and forget it. If $50 is too much, do $20. If $20 is too much, do $10. The point is to start. The point is not to start big. Here is the recap. 6 steps in order with no guilt. Separate the shield from the growth. Start with a single broad market fund. Automate it. Start small. Leave it alone. Scale slowly. That is the path. That is the entire path. And the entire path takes less than 30 minutes to set up and 0 minutes per month to run. The reason most people do not build wealth is not that they do not make enough. The reason is that they do not have a system. The system is not complicated. The system is one decision, made once, automated, and forgotten. That is the difference between saving and investing. Saving is a habit. Investing is a system. Habits break, systems do not. If you only do one thing after this video, do this. Set the automation. Even if it's $10, even if it feels small, the automation is the system. The system is the path. The path is the difference. I'm Ryan. I will see you in the next video where I will show you exactly how to pick the fund and open the account. For now, go set the automation. The staircase starts with one step, and you have already taken the first one by getting this far.